I know I'm not the only one that was really anticipating a Stan Lee cameo in this film. And to tell you the truth, that was pretty much the biggest disappointment I had with this film. Stan. Alright, so now we're on the X-Men train again, this time with X-Men First Class. But before I start my review of X-Men First Class, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of my thoughts on the series itself. First two films, which are directed by Bryan Singer, awesome. X-Men The Last Stand, okay. And I'm going to be truthful to say that I like to live in a reality where I pretend that X-Men Origins Wolverine never happened. However, the X-Men franchise itself has really changed my opinion on comic books, especially in Marvel. I mean, come on, I got a poster of the film right here. I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt right now. I mean, come on. Could I be any more of a nerd right now? This time around, we get an origin story of the backgrounds for Charles Xavier and Eric Lehnsherr, aka Professor X and Magneto. They both band together amidst the near events of the Cuban Missile Crisis to form a team to take down Sebastian Shaw, played by Kevin Bacon, who is an evil mutant and has his own team, in which he's trying to thrust the United States into World War III with the Soviet Union. Performance-wise, this film is fantastic, and the strongest parts are definitely between James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender, who both play Professor X and Magneto respectively, both doing an amazing job. They have a very magnetic chemistry on screen together, as you can really see that they play very well off each other, and they really dig into the characters very well. You become very invested within all these characters in this movie. Everyone from Jennifer Lawrence to Nicholas Hoult and even to Kevin Bacon, who did an awesome villain in this film, in which we need more movies with Kevin Bacon as villains. But the biggest standout by far is definitely Michael Fassbender. This guy has become a rising star out of films like Fish Tank and Inglourious Basterds especially, but let's just pretend he never starred in that film right there for right now. He does an amazing job as he just really brings a lot of that slowly building menace inside of Magneto's head, because he feels that mutants can't be accepted to the human race, and those differing views always conflict with Professor Xavier's because he believes they can coexist. And that tension that just builds between these two, because even though they get along well, that's the one big flaw in their relationship and has been mentioned in the previous X-Men films as well too. The guy's just got a great presence on screen. His gravitas as an actor is really helping him widen out his range to be a very big rising star. I mean, this guy is going to be big in the future. He was already in Jane Eyre this year, and he did an amazing job in that from what I've heard. Matthew Vaughn does an amazing job directing this movie, and I wish he could have directed The Last Stand instead of Brett Ratner, because his direction shows that it's very borderline with Bryan Singer's, that he can handle this cast of characters, which is pretty huge in this film, and he gives them all an equal amount of time. He takes a great amount of time to develop them, and I really like the origins in the beginning between Xavier being young, and then when Magneto was young, when he was in the middle of World War II, because he was part of one of those prison camps. And Vaughn's direction is very stylish in this movie, as the 1960s setting really adds on a lot of new flair to the franchise, because the previous ones always took place in present day. But since this is an origin story, it gives the film a lot more of a style to go off of. Like, some of the costumes that represent the era are magnificent. The visual effects are awesome, and every scene that involves Magneto just using his powers to try and defeat people, awesome as usual. Is just like Ian McKellen was in the other X-Men movies. This is such a strong summer film, but also a very strong X-Men film at the same time. I had a very fun time with it. I'm going to give it a very strong 4 out of 5 stars. So I hope you enjoyed my review of X-Men First Class. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel where you can check out more of my reviews, and I'm only 4 subscribers away from 300, so one of you watching this right now could be the very lucky 300th subscriber, and you'll get a shout out for that too. Also, follow me on Twitter, which I'll be on a lot more this summer, and also find me on the Random Mindcom site. If you know Anthony, of course, I started writing for his website. You can check out my first post. The link is below. And in the meantime, I'm Tyler from Calcritic Reviews, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with yet another review, but not of a film that's by any famous filmmaker. That's your only clue right there.